thousand will follow, sing me the music of healing. Oh, the heart's a wonder, stronger than the guns of thunder. Even when we're torn asunder, love will come again. Love will come again.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Melissa. That was wonderful. It's time for our speaker this morning. It's my privilege to introduce to you the Rev Lujuana Bull. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Service feels complete already. Has me going, God is, we are, okay. I like to talk. That's not going to be the end of it. Speaking of talking, Kim, you mentioned what would happen if I took the cup and I said, do you have a cup of? Well, you caused me to have an immediate flashback to a Halloween when some adults, we were living, I think we were in our late 20s, and living on Jackson. And I had this brilliant idea. Of course, thought it was at the moment. And it was that we would all have our Halloween outfits, and we as young adults would go Halloween trick-or-treating. But instead of getting candy, we would give them candy. I had no idea they might think it was tainted or something. I had no idea how they would receive that. I just thought it would be fun. And so we did. It was awkward. It was unusual. It was unexpected. Why? Why are you adults coming trick-or-treating and giving us candy? I just thought it was going to be fun. So there's that unusual, unexpected. That's what came up when you said you might go to a person and say, "You got a cup of kindness for me? I'd just like to borrow it for a little while." That's what happens when new things come about sometimes, is they can feel a little different. We might not have been ready for it. May seem unusual. I'm also going to reflect on last week. Reverend Sandy gives us these beautiful themes. Sometimes we welcome them. Sometimes we go, what the heck? Really? Oh, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm just not there yet. This month's have been Conscious Idea, Changeless, and Creative Medium. Now, I'd like to start off with saying that co-creating with Bob, John, Lalonde, and Joe Bull was a blast. For me, I don't know how much fun they had, but it was so much fun. And it was a few weeks in the creative process. And Bob, what a consciousness, my friend. It was a beautiful, beautiful
Presentation.
well, I'm getting there. I am.
I'm speaking out loud.
Oh, okay. I'm getting there, honey. He said presentation. And it was a beautiful, creative, mediate space, opening for the creative space and for the creation to occur. In the 2 weeks preceding it, I totally enjoyed the practices. Bob, you mentioned being inspired. You mentioned being inspired, and Bob, I love that you're the antithesis of yourself. He said that he was inspired, and he also said, I was really just trying to get out of having to do too much work. And I go, okay, so that's why you wrote a poem, a song lyric, and a talk. I just love that about you. It's so playful. Your humor always makes me smile. When Joe and I were working with John, and John, thank you so much for what a great melody you created, because it was just wonderful. And as we were working on the song together, Joe and I, it was prayer every single time. Every single time we were in that prayer. And you mentioned that it was a prayer for you, and that was the theme more than maybe conscious idea, changeless, creative medium. And yet, that whole experience for me was Bob's conscious idea becoming our conscious idea. It was being open to the changeless. For me, the changeless is that presence, the truth, the knowing, the isness, the omni that we refer to sometimes as we speak of Source, God. And there's just so many traditions with so many names. To just touch a little bit of it in our expression. To receive that poem and that song, those lyrics, my prayer. I witnessed all of it. I witnessed conscious idea. I witnessed changeless. I witnessed we were the creative medium. Those flutes were the creative medium. And then there were some that missed the experience because Zoom was down. It wasn't just Zoom, it was the internet for the area. So it happened to be that Zoom was down and we weren't able to be able to all be together. But then we heard later on that the ones that were on Zoom had their own experience. They had their own experience together. And that made me think, I wonder, was there a conscious idea there of how, just a little percolating idea of, well, let's see what we create together. There is no lack or limitation in spirit. Do things change? Absolutely. Something is added, like a poem and a song. Something doesn't happen, like the internet service. People being present with each other. Something new is able to happen, like it did on the Zoom get-together. Somebody wasn't able to get on Zoom that day, maybe in this area. And I bet some other idea came forth of what could be. Something else became conscious. They became conscious of, aware of. This life is full of opportunity. The blessing for us is that we know it. We know it. We know that each moment is birthing anew. We know that there's no lack and limitation. All right, it sneaks in every now and then. Who doesn't experience that? But we have a teaching here that lets us know that life is being life and that we are of that life. And that means we can catch a new conscious idea. Isn't it interesting how ideas, whether it be inventions, discoveries, scientific proofs, mathematics, isn't it interesting that not just one person is catching that idea? Multiple people are working on it, potentially, or experiencing it at the same time. It's like it's caught, it's received, it's accepted, it's played with, it's delivered to us as we're ready for it. Angelo, he doesn't get all in this kind of stuff the way I do. With me, it's universal. What's universal truth? What's the, I feel a little like I'm pretending I'm on the journey with Einstein. Ha, 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 ha. I know that there's people that know so much more than me. And I know that the way I go about my living is different than the way other people go about their living, and I'm fine with that. I hope you are too. I hope we all are, because we're diverse even if we don't have different skin color, we think. It's all different. It's all distinctive. If we're guys or gals or this or that or all the social themes of diversity, we're diverse. We're just diverse. And I love it. But Angelo keeps it simple. And Angie, I can't help but speak your words sometimes because they just bring so many of us home. Within you is unlimited potential and possibility. If it ever feels like there's something between our potential and possibility and us, there just isn't. That's a false idea that we've caught, and we just get to let it go. No one, no thing comes between creator, creating, creation macro, and creator, creating, creation micro. Unless we put it there, and then we can let it fall away. Joe and I had an experience of that, just chatting with each other about our daily living. And we were a little heavier when we started the conversation. And we could feel the heavier when we started the conversation. And then we went to the principles, the teachings that we have in this community. And we brought them up and we asked ourselves if this was true or not, what we were experiencing. Is it based on truth, or are we holding ourselves in some kind of box with some false notions? And by the end, there was such lightness of being. I say the end, it was the end of 15 minutes conversation, but it was such a shift. And where is that lightness of being before it shows up? It's available. It's present. We just came to a place where we were tuned in to receive it. We chatted, and something that was heavier in our thinking fell away. And whoa. So God's presence and God's availability, God's changelessness is ever present. It's always available. And that's not to say we are wrong. We've done something terrible. We're some label we would put on ourselves. It's to say it's not missing. Possibility and potential, unlimited, is who we are. I've mentioned the chakras before, and I mentioned them as energy centers of the existence of Source as each of us. I feel at the depth of my being that we already are what we're praying for. That we can't add or take away what that is that we are, but we can become consciously aware of it. And we can be the creative medium, the opening for it to pass through. And just to give you a hint of what these are pretty amazing things that we are. You know, we can look out at nature and we go, ah. But do we look at ourselves and go, ah? Do we look at each other and go, ah? Because we can. That's how magnificent God's creation is. So, just highlight each one of them. First of all, I am. An awareness, a presence, a life, a seer through the eyes, a hearer through the ears. I am. Anybody here not an I am? Okay, we got that covered.
I am.
I am. I feel. This feeling nature that, yes, gets stirred up sometimes. Yes, goes into some heavy places sometimes. This feeling nature, I feel. I can feel out of balance, I can feel anxious, I can feel fearful, I can feel all kinds of things. I can feel elated, I can feel I have equilibrium, I can feel peace, I can feel love. We feel. Anybody here not feeling? Okay, next. I do. Now that I feel. What's next? We do. We create poems and lyrics, and we sing our songs, and we do our work, and we bring what's needed, and we care for ourselves, and we care for each other. We do. And we have the strength to stand up for justice, what we believe in, what matters to us. I do. And I love. Okay, well, after I do, somebody might think I'm doing against them when I'm really not doing against them. I'm just doing. But their doing would be different than my doing, so they could I gotta be able to forgive and love. I gotta be able to be okay with everyone else doing their thing and me doing my thing, and just love. And sometimes when you say that our cutting off our loving is because somebody else isn't doing it the way we want them to do it. But we don't have to go there. We can let everybody do their doings, and we can just love. Angelo, another one, I gotta quote it, it's just too good to be true. Well, no, it is true, and it's great, and it's got to be repeated. What is it? I've said it so many times. Do I still have it? Is it here? Hello? Angelo says, forgive everything, love everyone, and remember who you are. I love. I can love what I do, and also hate it, but I can love what I do. I can, if I'm hating what I do, I can love something else, and I can do it. I can love my people. Oh, I can be upset with my people too, but I can love them. I can let it go, and I can love them. We're concerned about being loved. How many people, and you and I'm telling you, I'm one of them, have lost a beloved pet and be shook by the fact they're gone. Family that we loved and loved and loved and loved and loved, and they're no longer in this physical plane. And then we heal for a while, and when do we really feel okay is when we have somebody else to love. Whether it's a next pet, or a family member's pet, or a friend, or once we get back into our loving, we feel okay. We're the creative medium for that love to come through. And I speak. Hello? Speaking. I speak. I speak my truth based on my experience, and I speak it as authentically and genuinely as I can, and that is the throat chakra, and that is I speak. And it is each of us being freely, genuinely ourselves. And can we do tyrannical? Heck yes, we can do it. But we don't have to. We can be merciful about our differences, and we can just speak our freedom genuinely. And it matters. And I see, third eye. I see a new vision. I see clearly how we might be able to love ourselves and each other a little more. I see where we are today, and I see where we can be tomorrow. I see. And I follow that vision. I hold that vision single in my eye. When it comes forth, I hold it in my eye. I don't vacillate too much once that vision's come forth. Sure, some, will I be good enough? Can I do it? Yeah. Then I let it go and I go, stay with the vision. The vision is, we're doing a song with Bob and John. Stay with the vision. Stay with it. That's one vision. There's the vision of how we can relate to each other better. Think of how we related to each other 1,000 years ago. as humanity. A lot of opportunity was squashed, and a lot is open and available today. And yeah, we're going through some great change. So my feeling is I keep participating in the things I'd like to see continue, because I can't control what's going to fall away. So I stay with what I would love to see continue. After I see, it's I know. I know. And it's beautiful what people know and live out. My friends who know, the one that just moves me the most, because I don't feel it's my gift, but I am so moved by it when I am with someone and they're visiting someone in the hospital and they know exactly what to say. And they bring their light and they're completely present at the moment. And that person is lifted. And I think that is stunningly beautiful. This is just a hint at what has been taught to me with regarding the chakras. But it hints at what we already are. We are knowers, we are seers, we are speakers, we are lovers. We do. We feel. And all that God is, we are. Imagine 1,000 years from now what we will have discovered. Just imagine the possibility of what we could discover about ourselves and how little drama we might have to experience in the process, because we know that we know and we live it. This isn't just the chakras, though. It's also referred to in other traditions. It's referred to in the Kabbalah as the spheres. The circles, the spheres, the 10 of them. It's in the 9 depths of Jin Shin Jitsu. It's in the anatomy of spirit. It's in the 7 sacraments. It's in the Beatitudes. If you check out the Beatitudes in the Bible, it references seeing the face of God. It references those, and they are in the order that is apparently the design of us. That it all builds together as one. And it moves me to recognize that at the core of us, at the center of us, is a divine spark in every dimension. In every dimension. And that we get to be the creative medium for its expression. This is, to me, a spiritual nature of being thing. It isn't numerology. It isn't something else. It's a spiritual nature of being thing. It's a teaching or an expression of that. And we already are what we've been created to be. I've noticed people who know they are sourced and supplied. People who know they are loved and supported. People who know they are already living in an ordered universe. People who care about themselves and others. People who are willing to serve and give their time for a worthy purpose or cause. And people who have felt love, whether it was by receiving it or giving it, didn't matter. And people who could be okay even when stuff is happening. You know I'm talking about you, right? I've noticed that when we tune into that spaciousness within ourselves, we don't start fights, big or small. Instead, when tough times happen, we ask for help, or if we can help. And we find again what we've already been given. The changeless is forever. The changeless is forever in love and support of us. Conscious ideas we haven't even considered come forth for us. And we are the creative medium of the divine. I know it may have been a little preachy because I'm not on my game for humor today. But I want you to know in my heart, I see you already on your spiritual journeys, displaying and demonstrating and exuding this and more than I can even fathom. Namaste, my friends.
Thank you, Lord. Beautiful. Sitting there and listening to what you had to say, it just relaxes me completely. To be in this moment, in this place and time, instead of being elsewhere mindfully. We're here together to listen to your word. Thank you for that. It's time for our healing service. For those of you who are here physically with me, if those of you who would like to come forward and gather in a circle, please do so. Those on Zoom, please be with us by remaining right where you are and closing your eyes. And I want us to take time to think about someone we care about, to think about others in our life that maybe need a prayer, maybe need a positive thought from us. So, anyone want to gather up front, please do so now. This is a sacred time for us this morning to give thanks and to honor others. Please close your eyes. Now ask practitioners and ministers if you want to speak out your word, please do so. As we consciously think of loved ones.
We are the beauty in the presence. Our hearts are open and love flows freely, expanding to everyone here and out all around this world. For our love and our hearts are needed, and we are here today gifting them to the all that is.
I am thinking of those who might be in need of a hand up, a prayer, a positive prayer, to help lift their day, lift their mind, and feel loved by these words.
I speak a word for anyone who's going through major transition. Big change. Feels like big change. With God, there's no big and little, but with us, it feels like big change. And so in these moments where there could be major transitions going on, where there are major transitions going on, I send a blessing. A blessing of acknowledgement that you and the source of all life have got this. And this eternal life continues. It always continues. I am so grateful for God's activity, God's divine design, God's originality as each of us. I'm grateful for the substance and the essence, the form and the function. I'm grateful for possibilities I haven't even considered. I'm grateful for the angels who have been called to do service in particular ways and how they come forth in our lives right when they're needed. I'm grateful for this and so much more. And I pass it on.
Our spirit is one with you, Great Spirit. You who strengthen us day and night to share our very best with our brothers and sisters, show your love for us. Help us to know, like the soaring eagle, the heights of knowledge. And from the four directions, fill us with the four virtues: fortitude, generosity, respect, wisdom, so that we may walk in beauty and in love.
May the sacred songs of our hearts reach out into the sky and travel to others' hearts so that they know that this is our prayer. And as we exhale our breath, we exhale the prayer of living well.
We are universal beings having a local experience, as Angie teaches us. And each one of us, each individual, unique spirit and light, expression of the infinite. Hold hands here in the circle. We are together and we complete the circle. We are part and parcel of the circle and an important part of the circle, and we expand this circle out to all beings within the universe and send love and healing and light and receive the same.
And now let's take time to love ourselves, to pray for ourselves. Thank you, God, for my knowledge and my wisdom and my health and my being able to love and be loved. I thank you, God, for this time together with these souls, giving out love, receiving love through your guidance, through your intelligence, knowing that we are one with you and one with each other. Thank you, God, for this and so much more. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you all. Thank you all. It's time for our offertory, and I'd like to ask two people to come up and help me with that, please.
You could maybe clone me.
Yeah, I can phone you.
Is somebody here?
Oh, there you are. See what you look like.
Up and hold hands with her for a second. It was so
I thought you were going to be
beautiful.
her clone.
Oh, I
He likes to
aspire.
clone around. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Let's do our offertory
Bad
statement.
Clown around.
Divine love
Flowing through me, blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive.
I'll go left.
And for those of you on Zoom, if you wish to donate to the PLC, you can look into the iFocus and it gives you directions on how to do that, how to send your monies toward us. And we also have our P.O. box and address there as well. So thank you all for your offertory time and money to keep this beautiful sanctuary going and moving. Thank you so much.
I did help.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. If you would like additional prayer after service today, there are practitioners and ministers here today. Grab any one of us, for that purpose. We also have the frog box in the back corner by the front doors, where you can fill out a prayer request for yourself or someone else and put it inside that frog box. And I collect those, and I send those out to all ministers and practitioners for those prayer requests. Okay. Announcements. Announcements, Bob. Why don't you come up and give us some announcements? This man is very busy around here. Very busy.
Just a couple of announcements. The seminar on Tao Te Ching, I had to move the time, so it's August the 3rd.
Joe started it.
Hopefully I'll be there. August the 3rd at 9:30 here. If you can't make that time, there's a couple of people who have been interested and can't do that date. So we'll probably have another small seminar at some point. There's a sign-up sheet. Unfortunately, I took it home and didn't bring it back. So you'll instead have to just email me or call me or something, and we'll get you signed up for it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me about it. The other thing I just wanted to mention, because we have so many new people here now, is it's been talked about before. The PLC was the origin of Emerson Theological Institute. And even though it's technically moved under another church, Emerson New Thought Center, we're still very active in it. I'm on the board, a vice president, and Sandy is one of the main instructors for it. If any of you want to take classes online, if you want to get either a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate in various religious studies, or if you want to work towards becoming a practitioner or a minister and get the certificate, you can join through Emerson. It's emersoninstitute.edu. You could get a hold of me, or you could get a hold of Sandy. I don't actively teach anymore, but I'm certainly very much involved and can get you a hold of that. So I just wanted to let you all know it's available to all of you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, thank you. Anybody else? Laura? I gotta get me a cane. I like that cane.
I do too.
I think that would really help.
It helps.
It would help me too.
But you got to get a purple one like mine.
Gotta get a purple.
Purple one would be nice.
Hi, my name is Laura, and I'm the president of the board for Positive Living Center. And one of the things that we've been working on is improving our signage on the building. And then, so here's what we propose. We're going to table the one on the building to the second thing we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is get a vinyl sign on one side of the gate and a vinyl sign on the other side of the gate. One side will say Positive Living Center, and the other side, we want your input. We want to have something to the effect of new thought community, or something that describes who we are. So we would like your input on a good idea, a way of saying that in a really short space. So I have these cards, and they're by the coffee pot with a pen and a little baggie. So if you would please, before the 11th of August, give us your ideas. And so the reason I say the 11th of August is because the following Friday we're going to have a meeting. And so we want to come up with the final answer. And so this gives everybody an opportunity to give input on what describes who we are as a community in like a few short words that we could put on the gate. So anyway, cards are up by the coffee pot with a pin. Put them in the baggie, and then I'll take them. John and I are going to work on it together, and so that way we can come up with a nice little slogan or something.
Do you have a maximum number of words that you suggest?
No, we're going to put positive living center on one side. So it has to be pretty short because we're just covering the gate. You know, the gate opens, you know, like this. And so one side's going to say the Positive Living Center.
Oh, now I see it.
And the other side's going to say New Thought Community or whatever we all come up with.
I see.
So it has to be something kind of short because they're not big gates.
No.
And they also are kind of in a sideways triangle. So we have to make it work that way. But we want your input. And it was so neat because when we were talking about it in the meeting, we all got excited. So it was like, yeah, it was like, I don't know, kind of got us all hyped up. So anyway, we want your input. Please, we have several Sundays for you to come up with ideas. You can also email me, and I don't think John would mind if you email John, right? So anyway, on the 11th, I'll collect all the cards. John and I will get it together, and then we'll decide on the winner will be chosen by the board on the following Friday. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you all. Beautiful idea. I've already got one in mind. Yes, Kim.
Okay. I have a couple of announcements. One is about Mantra Monday, and it's coming up. It's coming up soon. I can't believe we're already in July. I put posters up around town. I have put it on the events calendar on Facebook. I put it in the Mariposa Gazette. I'm trying to get it into the Fresno Bee events because I vision a full house. That's what I'm looking at, a full house. So we can get some more signs, so we can do more things. And so I also would need somebody to help me on the night when people are coming, to sit at the table with me, to, when people pay their money to come. I'd probably need that. I thought of getting an ohm symbol to just because people like that, some of them do. But I thought of that to do. And so that it's not this Monday, but it's a week from this Monday coming up, a week from tomorrow. And so I hope to see you all here, and I know it's going to be a wonderful event, and it will let us do more events like this. Okay, what's the other thing I wanted to ask? Okay, the flute and the drum circle is the second Saturday of every month. So I don't know what day that is in August.
Don't worry.
Because I'm trying to stay present and not go too far in the future. But please come, and we've had some wonderful people coming that are beginners, and you can come and just listen, and you can play the flute. We have flutes we can lend you. And also for the drum circle, you don't need to have a drum. And I've been telling people, and I also hope you will spread the word about Mantra Monday too, by the way. So just spread the word because we are a community center. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes. What do you say?
Announcement. You want to call yet?
Why don't you come up and give us an announcement?
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the announcements that I have are one, we have chanting at 11:30 today here in the sanctuary, and so everyone is welcome for listening, for chanting, and we will be on the second, it's the healing chants for the second chakra, which is the sacral, and so we can make it. The other thing that came up for me was, how many here are actually receiving the eye focus and look at it? Oh, you guys are so good. Did you raise your hands in there on Zoom? I didn't see any because I couldn't tell, but
They're raising them.
thank you. So here's the thought. You may have already thought of this, but you can forward that to friends. You can just forward that to friends, And then on the bottom it says if you'd like to subscribe, and so they can subscribe if they want. And because we have the highlight of the poster that Kim has, that would be spreading the word out to even more people. So if you've got friends that would benefit from that, don't hesitate to forward it on. No pressure, just an opportunity.
I like how you said that.
I like that too. Very good. That's a great idea to send that to your friends as well. Perfect.
Sir? Hang on.
Yes, John?
You know, I wish to thank you all for your support, all of your kindness during my time of loss. You know, it's a cyclic kind of thing, and there's wisdom that comes out of it, but at times there's also quiet desperation. So, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
You are welcome, John. Thank you so much. Thank you. It demonstrates once again that we are all here for each other. Always, always, always available to each other. It's wonderful. Any other announcements?
A couple weeks ago I said I'm a farmer without a farm, and you know, I'm always running out and finding feral trees and fruits and bringing them and sharing them with people. But today, this afternoon, I would like everyone to put in mind that we're going to have a bounty of blueberries, cherries, honey, because I'm going to Riverdance Farms and we're forming a new group to imbue that farm with all kinds of processing ability to make salves, oils, and I would just like to say that each one of us, one of my friends, I sent some over to check on him, and he was in a fetal position, almost dead, and my friend went and found him and brought him to the hospital, and now he's going to be the center of this new effort at Riverdance Farms. We're going to be making all these beautiful products based on him, and we're going to have a festival in October, and I would love to invite you all to come to Livingston, because in a way, this point of beautiful learning, John, also, it kept me alive in my dark times, and when I was crestfallen and lost my farm and lost my business and everything. And Angela always teaches us that we are possibilitarians, and everything is possible, and this place is just a huge expression of this. And I would like to lodge Angelo saying, "Love is spoken here" for that sign, but because that's one of his quotes.
Thank you, Barney. Beautiful. Straight from the heart. Anybody else? All right, let's do our prayer of protection, please. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me.
The power of God protects me.
The
Presence of God watches over me. The energy of God is me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well.
Yes, yes, yes. And Melissa, you have a song for us?
One of the themes this month is creative medium, and the song is about a particular creative medium.
When it seems that everyone is worried for themselves, buying clothes for fallout shelters, stocking up the shelves, living in the fast lane and staying high at night, thinking that by accident we'll blow out all the lights. Look now at the potter whose wheel is spinning round, shaping with her hands the past and future from the ground. Cups that will be filled dinner served with candlelight and wine. She believes by her work it's so easy to see that the future is more than the following day. It's passion securely in the clay. Look now at the farmer working in his field, hoping that the sun and rain will guarantee his yield. Like a seed the wind has blown to unfamiliar ground, he waits to see what fate will bring as each year rolls around. He believes by his work it's so easy to see that the future is more than the following day. It's passion securely in the clay. Elsewhere there are lovers in a warm embrace, happy with their plans to carry on the human race. Now the baby cries and wonders if it's all alone. Softly voices reassure there'll always be a home. They believe by their work it's so easy to see that the future is more than the following day. It's passion securely in the clay. So if you had been worried that tomorrow wouldn't come, look to see the ones whose lives are following the sun, and the hope that springs so clearly from the work they do will spread a little further when it finds a place in you. We believe by our work it's so easy to see that the future is more than the following day. It's passion securely in the clay. Yes, the future is more than the following day. It's passion securely in the clay.
Beautiful, thank you. Beautiful. I will be your speaker next week. I hope you're here with me next Sunday. I'm going to ask Reverend Sandy to come up and give us a closing prayer.
Just close your eyes a minute. Take in everything that happened today. It's been a glorious service full of love and insight, sharing and caring. This is what life is, this constant prayer that keeps on eternally moving and being. Accept this in your heart and in your life. Go forth today sharing the beauty of who and what you are, for the world needs each and every one of us. And I give such glorious thanks for what we are. And say with me, please. And so it is.
Thank you all. We'll see you next week. And Luana's got her chanting at 11:30, right? Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.